Ron was startled awake with the sound of the communicator going off around 9 a.m. Rufus was also awakened. As Ron sat up in his bed, he grabbed Kim's communicator and then answered it, trying to find Kim back with tears in her eyes, expression filled with sorrow. "Kim, what's wrong?" Ron asked in exalted concern. "Oh, Ron, oh God, it's so awful!" Kim sobbed. "What's going on, Kim? What happened?" Ron practically demanded. The news! Turn on the news!" Kim said, wiping tears from her face. "Why? What's going on?" Ron asked in an impatient voice. "Ron, just do it! There's no time to explain!" Kim suddenly snapped. Not wanting to argue any further, Ron grabbed the TV remote on the side of his bed, switched the TV onto the news channel, and what he would forever see and scar his mind, emotions. Ron saw a charred and ruined landscape on the screen, with the top of the newsline reading, "Nuclear attack on Japan leaves millions dead." From what Ron gathered, listening to the male news reporter, Japan had been bombed by an unknown assailant exactly at 12 a.m. The blast had confirmed to be nuclear. The Chibinu, Kanase, and even Kanto regions had all been wiped out. Half of the Tohoku region had also been caught in the blast, and the only upper part of Tohoku remained intact. A small part of Chirogo and Shiruko regions have been hit by the blast, but most of the regions have managed to avoid being caught in the fiery blast. The only two regions that escaped complete were Chirogo, were the Kushigo and Haruko regions. Ron simply just stared at the TV, frozen in absolute horror of what he was seeing and bearing. But he heard next what made him lose it. It has been confirmed that the bombs at the pack was the city of Yamadochi. There were no reported survivors within the blast zone as far as we knew, the news reporter said. The radiation levels were well above the lethal zone, and it has eliminated the scorched ground will be uninhabited for the next 15,000 years. Nations all around the globe are currently doing what they can to find the ones responsible for this unprovoked and unexpected attack, while the U.S. are currently in the process of sending medical ships to aid Japan to help any survivors. Nations are calling the worst nuclear attack on Japan since Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Ron shut off the TV. He couldn't even watch anymore. His mind instantly flashed to Yamadochi Ninja School, making his blood run cold. "Yori!" he gasped in terror. He then grabbed the communicator and called Kim to answer it right away. "Ron, you saw it all?" she asked, still in tears. "We have to go to there, Kim. Yamadochi, where Yori lives," Ron said frantically in a panicked voice. "Ron, are you insane? You heard the news report," Kim protested. "The radiation levels are way too high, and the blast wiped out freehold regions on that island. There's no way Yori could have survived something like that. Please, we have to find her. She might still be alive," Ron begged. "Ron, the news reporter said that there were no survivors. Yori's probably dead," Kim replied. "No, she wouldn't just let herself be killed in that nuclear blast. She's a highly trained ninja, and ninjas just don't go down like that," Ron suddenly yelled, tears now invisible in his eyes. "Ron, we can't go there. It's not safe," Kim insisted. Ron gripped the communicator tightly and said in a firm voice, "Then I'll go. Wade then might have some radiation suits I can use. If you're not going to help me look for Yori, then I will." "Ron, I'm telling you, you're not going to find her. I know she's our friend, but we have to accept the fact that she's probably dead," Kim argued in a harsh voice. "Well, I have to try, Kim. Yori's gotten out of tough situations before, and I know she's not dead. She can't be," Ron shot back. "Ron, please listen to me," Kim begged. "I've heard enough, Kim. I'm going to Japan to look for Yori, and that's final. Anyone who wishes to join me is welcome," Ron finally snapped and ended the call. Afterwards, he phoned Wayne and informed him about what happened. Wade quickly answered his communicator, and his face appeared on Ron's screen. "Ron, I take it you heard about what happened in Japan? It's all over the news," Wade said in a sad voice. "Yes, I was calling to ask to see if it's possible you have some transport me over to Japan as quickly as possible." "I gotta find Yori," Ron replied in a frantic voice. "No can do, Ron," Wade said sadly. "All flights to Japan have been canceled and locked down. No one's going there except U.S. military, hospital ships, and medical supply ships. Damn it, there's gotta be a way there. I have to get there," Ron yelled angrily. There might be one way to get there, but it would take 2 hours to reach Japan from your current location, Wade answered. How? Ron asked. I never told you guys, but I've been working on a prototype fighter craft using a hybrid of human Laudorian technology. I obtained it with global justice connections, and it should be fast enough for you to get to Japan in just 2 hours, Wade explained. Is that at your place? Ron wondered. Yeah, I could fly you and Kim down there, but it will definitely need radiation suits if you were heading to Yamadochi. You wouldn't last more than 30 minutes over there with the radiation levels being as high as they were, Wade replied with a nod. Kim is refusing to go, so I'm going alone, Ron informed. I'll join you as well, Wade replied. It might be best to have backup, just in case if something happens. Thanks for your assistance, Wade, Ron replied, trying his best to smile, but he was still filled with sorrow over the fact that he'd seen on the news. Anything for you, Ron. I'll be at your place in 10 minutes. Wait out, Wade replied, then signed off. Ron dropped the communicator in his bed, then broke down in tears again. He remembered everything Kim had told him, and knew that she might be correct of her assumptions that Yori may be dead, even though he didn't want to accept it. But Ron knew for a fact that avoiding the nuclear blast was pretty much impossible. But he hoped that maybe some of the stroke of luck, Yori might have gone far underground to avoid the explosion. She was a very skilled ninja after all, and not just like Yori wanted to give up easily. Even though Kim was Ron's girlfriend, he couldn't deny the fact that there had been a couple times in the past where he had romantic feelings towards Yori for the first time. It wasn't until Kim had confessed her love to Ron, and Yori eventually accepted that, them being just close friends. Yori had done so much for Ron and Kim in the past, and he had considered her as one of his best friends, next to Rufus. The thought of her being killed in a nuclear attack tore at Ron's emotions, and he fought so hard to keep them at bay, yet he wasn't having much luck. I'll find you, Yori, I promise. I'll find you, Ron said softly as he wiped his tears from his eyes, just wondering what the horrors awaited for him in Japan.